Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.
What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing? So check this out, right? I was thinking about something, and a lot of people are going to be able to feel what I'm about to say. Then there's a lot of people that might not. You know what I'm saying? Be as it may, I got to get this out because it's been wrecking my brain. A lot of times when we talk about being blessed, we attribute it to things, right? You see someone get a new car, you say, "Man, you're blessed." Get that new job, man, you're blessed, right? The meaning blessings has now turned into having things, right? And a lot of times, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but a lot of times what we forget is sometimes blessing or to be blessed is not attached to a thing, it's attached to strength. When you read the Bible, right, every time God performed a miracle or a blessing or whatever, there was a period of suffering. Before you reach that blessing, it was a period of suffering, right? Now, the blessing might have been to be healed or to get over something, right? But during that suffering, that individual was blessed because they had the strength to endure. October is a month for me that brings happiness and sadness. I'm coming up on a year that my grandmother has passed away. And for those who have been following me, people that know me know, just know how that is for me, right? And I remember, talking with my grandmother, and we would talk and I would just tell her, in that event that something ever happened to you, this is what I'm going to do. Right. And we would laugh about it. We joked about it. We would always talk about how things would be. Right. So, and this was from very early, you know what I'm saying? So after her passing, when all of those things came to pass, it created a dark cloud for me in that moment. Right. Because I was just going through so much and then still going through so much. Right. And in the event of her passing, I had to endure the being talked about, being lied on. Like I had to endure all of that stuff, right? But the crazy thing was I told her how it would be, right? So as I'm going through all of this stuff, and it seemed like it was just a never ending thing, right? And for a moment in time, I started to get depressed. Like I started to get depressed. But what I started understanding and noticing was during my lowest times, I was blessed because I didn't lose my mind. In my lowest times, I did not have to resort to lying, to doing everything what people were doing to me. I didn't have to resort to that, right? Because I was blessed. Now, during all of this time, I acquired material things, you know what I'm saying? Because I work hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to depend on nobody. I work hard, right? During that time, got a promotion. All of those things were happening during that time, right? And see, the thing is, people will watch what you obtain, but they don't know your struggle. So because I was obtaining certain things, people start thinking, oh, it has to be because X, Y, and Z. Not understanding. No, that was the hard work. The blessing was behind the scenes because while you talking about me, I didn't have to really talk about you. And if I did talk about you, it was nothing but facts. Everything that was said, you know what I'm saying, about me was just flat out lies. And it wasn't just the lies. What it was the people that chose to believe the lies, because I'm a firm believer. If someone is saying something about you and someone comes and tell you what they were saying about you, right? And they're going into details, this, that, and other. The first question I always has is, number one, why do they feel comfortable telling you? And number two, there's no such thing as a one-sided conversation. If you talk to somebody for an hour and they was talking about me and y'all are in a conversation, I have to question you. Don't come tell me, yeah, I know they be lying and this, that, and other. So why do they feel comfortable talking to you? But that's neither here nor there. But that's just a tidbit to take with you. When someone is the bearer or brings you the bones, always remember that they had a hand in them bones too. But anyways, right? So I'm going through all of that stuff, right? And I just start to think, like, you know what? The blessing is in God giving you the strength. The stuff that I had to endure, I was prepared for. But sometimes when life starts coming down and it feels like it's coming down on you, sometimes you resort back to the things that do you no good. Sometimes when things start happening to you, you start trying to confide in people who've never been through it. Sometimes you start confiding in people that you're comfortable with, but there's no growth in being comfortable. You have to get out of your way. You have to get in a new area that causes you to grow. So as I was going through all of this stuff, and I'm still going through some stuff, right? I began to sit back and just be like, you know what? It doesn't matter what type of car. Doesn't matter what type of drug. It doesn't matter any of that stuff. I thank God for strength. I thank God to be in my right mind. Every time I hear people, telling me that life is lifing, I'm telling you that stuff. I always be like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? What does life be lifing mean? Right? You have to fix this up here to start looking like where you're trying to go. You have to start doing that because, like I said, every time God performed a miracle in the Bible, it was attached to some type of pain that required strength. The lady that had an issue of blood was bleeding all of that time, right? So think about that. So she had to have strength to still get up every day. And along with that strength, when God blesses you, he puts you in position. And a lot of times when we praying for stuff, right, we praying for money, but you don't have the wherewithal to hold on to that money. So what happens is when you obtain some money, you look at that as, oh man, God is being good to me. No, sometimes we try to skip steps. And I say this all the time. There's people right now that's looking forward to tax time, right? They're looking forward to tax time. And the year before that, they was looking forward to tax time. And the year before that, they was looking forward to tax time. But every time tax time comes, by June, everything is gone. You know why? Because you don't have the capacity. You don't have the capacity to deal with that money that you're getting. So if you don't have the capacity to do that, why do you expect God to rain down his mercies on you? Because that very thing can kill you. And that's why a lot of times we have to look at these people that we admire. We look at these billionaires and we sit back and we be like, man, if I can just get $1 million. We don't know what that person is dealing with behind closed doors. We don't know what that person is dealing with. You see somebody with a nice car, you be like, ooh, man, they got a nice car. But you don't know they could be riding on E. I'm not going to say no names, right? But I had a friend before. They had a real nice car, right? Real nice car. I was like, man, that's a nice car, right? But they had to park the car everywhere but they place. You know why? Because they couldn't afford the note. But for people to see them, they thought, man, they doing good. Man, they doing good. But all they had to do was get an affordable car, but they were so worried about what everybody else is saying. That's why it annoys me when people, they come on Facebook and they say, they talk about, the things that they got, right? Then they say, this is for all my haters. This is for the people that didn't believe in me. This is for y'all making me stronger. And it irks my nerves because if they didn't believe in you then, they're not going to believe in you now. If they didn't like you then, they're not going to like you now. When you say these little dumb sayings like, oh, I'm going to give y'all more to hate on, you got to watch what you say, because Words have power. Words have power. That's why we have to be so mindful of what we let in our headspace, right? I'm a firm believer in mantras, right? I get up in the morning and I tell myself certain mantras that I have for myself, right? And what I start to realize is a lot of people, you know, you get in your car and you listen to certain music. I'm not telling you what to listen to, but what I'm saying is you listen to certain music that has become the mantra of your life. You know what I'm saying? There was a song, right? And what it say? I'm a dog, I'm a mutt, right? Y'all know the song, right? I'm a dog, I'm a mutt, right? But think about that. If you listen to that song every day, right? You're a man, right? You listen to that song every day, that becomes your reality. When you listen, think about when you were younger, right? When you hear that nug, if you buck, like that stuff, that was our motivation. If you about to fight, or if you think that was about to fight, you turn that on and it was time to get busy, right? Because that was your mantra. That's what you were allowing in your headspace. So I know I've been going long on this, right? But I just really want people to understand what a blessing is. A blessing sometimes is not materialistic. A blessing is God giving you strength to endure. There's people, my grandfather used to say this all the time, that have been wrong so long that they're right. And people like that are some of the scariest people, because they will look you in the face. And they've been lying to themselves so long that they believe it's right. Right? Like they believe it's right. I don't want to be that type of person. I thank God for giving me blessings that has encouraged me to be who it is that I am supposed to be. And if being who I am supposed to be irritates your demons, then guess what? I'm doing my job. The people that's not for you are not going to be for you. You're not going to win people over. That's a falsehood. You're not going to win people over. There's some people that don't like you because they see what God is doing through you. That's why people say you acting funny. Yes, because I'm not who I used to be. Oh, you think you better than me. It's not that I think you better than me. I think that I'm better than I used to be. So if that makes you feel less than, then that's a you problem. But I am not going to diminish who I am to make you feel comfortable. And if your circle, you have to diminish yourself to make the other people, you need to get up out that circle. Anyways, man, I hope y'all have a blessed day.
Hey, let's talk about it, cause honestly we need to talk about social issues, just uplifting my people. Yeah, let's talk about it. Come join the conversation. A connection's what we're creating. Yeah.